Hey everybody, Scott Burnett here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. We got a little Linux video for you today. We're going to install Fedora 44 workstation on my Lenovo Thinkpad X1 Carbon. This is an 8th gen, got a little age about it. Good little laptop. I enjoy using it and I've had about every distro known to man on it. And we're going to put Fedora 44. So I have Fedora 44 on my main desktop now. I've been using it for a little bit and I like it. I've been distro hopping pretty hard here lately. Let's run over here to the Fedora project. The latest version, latest release is 44, but we are going to download version 44 and put it on a USB drive. So I have a 32 gig SanDisk. You don't need 32. All you need is 8. We'll plug it into the machine here. There we go. And since I have Fedora, we're going to open up the Fedora Media Writer. This comes with it. It's very handy. You can put whatever ISO you want on the machine or on the drive. But since it being Fedora, we're going to download automatically. We can pick whatever we want here, but we're going to get Workstation version 44 with the 64-bit architecture and hit write. I'll put my super secret password in and we will come back when this is done. All right, we're finished. It says it was finished, and we'll go over here to the Files app, and we will hit eject. And now I got my drive ready, so we'll drop down to the laptop, and I'll show you how to install it. All right, so now I have my USB drive, and we'll go ahead and plug it in here. If I can find the right port. There we go. Go ahead and hit the boot up and go ahead and drop down to the computer. And what we need to do, we need to go into BIOS and make sure that secure boot is turned off, which I already know it is, but I'm going to show you where it is. We'll go to the app menu. Setup. We'll get into the BIOS here. And what we'll do, we'll go over to security and then secure boot. Because most Linux distros do not like secure boot and it is turned off. So we will hit restart. Exit save changes. And yeah. Okay, we'll hit F12 on the keyboard. This will take us to the boot menu again. And we'll pick our SanDisk drive. And we'll start Fedora. You can go through the test and all that stuff, but you don't really need to. All right, so I had to set up my mirror so y'all can see this. We're going to hit install Fedora Linux. And this is a live environment, so we could have hit no and just played with in the environment. You can see if you like it before you install, but we're going to go ahead and install. Next, we're going to put it on our 1 terabyte drive. We're going to use our entire disk. Hit next. We're not going to encrypt. It shows all your partition assignments. Erase data and install. And all you have to do is sit and wait on it. Just takes a few minutes and we'll be right back. All right, here we are at the live desktop. So now all we have to do is restart. All right, we'll take the drive out. can't mirror my display from here for some reason. I don't know what's going on. So what we'll do, we'll move this over here so you can see it. There we go. We'll start the setup. Crap. We'll hook up the Wi-Fi. I'm going to leave location services on since it's a laptop. Our time zone is just fine, even though I am nowhere near that. We're going to enable third-party repositories. Hit next. And tell them who I am. Give it a super secret password. And we are all done. Try to do that in Windows. Ain't gonna happen. Okay, we're going to skip taking the tour because we don't really need to. And then I'm going to go back and mirror my display again, so you can see what the heck I'm doing. The capture card doesn't like that for some reason. All right. So we, on our displays, we got set to 125%. I'm going to bump it to 133. Make it a little easier on you guys. All right, so this is your settings. Our sound, all is good. Our power, what I like to do here, you can change your mode and anything, but we don't really need to. We're going to add the battery percentage. We're going to go into power saving, and we're going to turn all this off because I don't want it to dim, don't want it to go off, don't want to go to sleep right now. Multitasking, we're fine. Appearance, let's go dark and blue. Then we're going to go down to privacy and security. Screen lock. And we're going to turn this off because I don't want it to lock. In our system, we're going to go to the About page, and we can change the name if we want to. This is a Gen 8, i7, 16 gigs of RAM with a terabyte NVMe drive. We're using Wayland GNOME 50, Intel graphics. Everything looks good. So this would be my default setup. I do want to do two things real quick. I want to go to the software manager. We'll do a search for GNOME. And what we want two applications real quick, and then we'll put the updates on it. I said real quick. Yes, I know we have updates. I want GNOME tweaks. This gives us a little bit of control over how it looks. And then I want Extension Manager. And these are the little applications that do certain things for appearance and stuff. I want the Extension Manager. We'll install it. Then we will put the updates on it. Matter of fact, we could probably go ahead and do it while it's working. And these are just bug fixes and application fixes that have happened since the release. And restart. And we'll come back to when it boots up. We've got everything like it should be. We're going to go to tweaks. This is GNOME tweaks. And I like putting the window controls back on. So we're going to do maximize, minimize, and then resize with secondary click. And up on fonts, I'm going to turn on anti-aliasing for LCD screens. It just makes the fonts look a little better. And you can always change the scale factor if the fonts are too small. You know, we can do that if we want to. I've got it jacked up a little bit for y'all so y'all can see it. Now I want to go to the extension manager. Where'd it go? Right there. And we're going to view the extensions, and we're going to do 3. One of them is blur my shell, and it adds a little blur to certain parts of the interface. Just makes it look better. The second one is going to be dash to dock, and it actually docks your dash. Set that way, and it keeps your dock right there. The third one is a little controversial. It's just something I like to do on all I'm on Windows most of the time, but when I do this, do Bing wallpaper. And, you know, you don't have to do this. I like the images that this gives you. It doesn't add Bing to your search provider. It doesn't do all that stuff. It just adds, this person has just put it to where it's just getting Bing or a wallpaper. So there's the Bing wallpaper, and you can cycle through. It's a neat little extension. I just like the images. That's the big thing. You know, that's a neat one there. So there you have it. This is part 1 of this exercise. You know, it took, 30 minutes altogether probably getting this thing going, and you have a working machine. It has a browser, file explorer, has all kind of applications. In part 2 of this, I'm going to show you how to customize it even more. So you have an office suite, cameras, the whole bit. Part 2, we'll go in and add browsers, add creative applications. I'll show you how to do that, and we'll do some more tweaks to the operating system, make it a little better. Anyway, I hope y'all get something out of this. Links for everything be in the description, how to do it and what I did. Very easy. Anybody can do it. So I just find it fun to hop around and everything. But anyway, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, be notified when I put out a video, hit that like. It helps the channel out. Almost got 4,000 subscribers, and haven't been putting a lot of videos out. I've been running a lot and working a lot. So, but anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this. Hope y'all have had a great day. I hope you have a great week. And like I always say, until the next video, thanks for watching.